broken or not?
No, he wasn't broken. No, he wasn't broken.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
What are you talking about? I had the same surgery he had. Then what happened? So what they say about you then? You fight me then?
I'm gonna break that spine.
So what they say? So I'm broken then, right?
Well, you broken then. You gonna be broken July 29th.
Yeah, we gonna see.
You gonna be broken.
So that begs the question, Errol. What does a win mean to you specifically on the 29th?
It just mean he's a great fighter. It just mean I broke another great fighter's will, and I broke him down mentally, physically, and I came out on top.
Never.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Anthony Jarbo, what's up, brother?
The interesting thing is, you are the unified welterweight champion. You've taken away everyone's strap, it seems like, in this division. Yet, you're the Vegas underdog coming into this fight.
Ooh.
Does that motivate you? Does it upset you? Your feelings on that?
Anthony Jarbo.
No, I don't pay attention to it. I mean, that's a good thing. I mean, everything I've been through throughout these 2-3 years, I mean, I should be the underdog. But I mean, it is what it is, man. A lot of people become underdog and they end up winning. So that's why it's a bet.
They know what's gonna happen. That's why.
But I want to ask you about that. I loved it on social media. You characterized July 29th as a fish fry. Can you enlighten the people on what you meant by that?
I'm gonna gut them. I'm gonna feed them to everybody that eat fish in here. Call yourself the big fish. We're gonna have enough food for everybody.
We'll see. We'll definitely see.
Put some potatoes on the side of it too.
Ooh.
Hey, man, y'all go to ESJ.com, thetruth.com, and go buy that hot pack, man. We're gonna roll him up and smoke him.
We'll see.
Errol?
We don't smoke over here.
It's legal in Vegas, man. We're gonna roll him up and smoke him.
All we do
Hey,
is
man.
fish fillet.
We're gonna roll him up and smoke him, man.
We go hunting over here. And
Like I said, we're gonna roll him up and smoke this dude.
Errol, you described it on social media as, quote, a one-sided ass whooping. I'm going to punish Terence Crawford.
That's how it always is. It's gonna be a one-sided ass whooping. And he's gonna come in with the mentality, and you know it's gonna probably take a few rounds, but he's a stubborn dude. So, but we're gonna, like I said, man, everybody get broke. We're gonna break him, man. We're gonna break him like a horse.
What are people going to say?
Not a horse.
Because this fight has been so anticipated. Once it's over, what do you think people are going to say about the fight, and what are they going to say about Bud Crawford?
They're gonna say Bud Crawford is special. And all the people that thought he was gonna do what he said he was gonna do, they're gonna say, wow, we was wrong about that kid. He is special. He is great. That's what they're gonna walk away saying. This boy is great. I can assure you that. And he'll give me my respect after the fight. Right now, he in the mode of...
I give y'all respect now.
No.
I give y'all respect now.
I'm talking about when I whoop that ass, you gonna really...
I give y'all respect now. I give y'all respect now.
Damn.
You worry right now.
Ooh.
I'm gonna have to do it again. But...
Like the rest of them. Simon Hearns, all them dudes are great. Marvin Harry, Durant, all them guys are great, man. But, hey, man, sometimes dudes get broke.
And the same question to you, Errol. What are they going to be saying about this fight and about Errol Spence Jr. after July 29th?
How the hell Errol Spence keep breaking these men? These grown-ass men.
So here we go. Last question for you guys. Start with you, Big Fish. For the thousands that have packed T-Mobile Arena, for the millions that are going to buy it on Showtime pay-per-view, what can you guarantee these people they're going to get on July 29th?
I can guarantee you a great action-packed, old-school type fight. If you've been craving one of those fights from the 70s, 80s, early 90s, you gotta tune into this fight, man. This is a legendary fight. I feel like, you know, belts aside, all that type stuff. I'm talking about, you talk about Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. This is the biggest fight in boxing, period. Especially action-packed wise. If you know his mentality, you know my mentality. You already know, man. We going for the victory, but a tough victory. I know he's not gonna try to break. I'm definitely not breaking. So it's gonna be an all out war. I think it's gonna be tactical in the first couple rounds, but as rounds go on, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to break his will. He's gonna try to break my will, and we both gonna go for the victory. Everybody tune in July 29th. Is gonna be a all-out war, action-packed fight, and you're gonna want to tune in to this fight because this fight is gonna be talked about for decades.
I know I said it, but they were my words. I want your response to that. You believe the winner, pound for pound, best fighter in the world?
Yep.
The winner of this fight is definitely the best fighter in the world. I mean, pound for pound, that's all. You know, I don't know how they judge that, but everybody know this the best fighter in the world. Whoever wins this fight, this creme de la creme. This the best fighter in the world. No questions asked. No nothing. So make sure everybody tune in to this fight.
Bud Crawford, same question to you. For all those thousands of people who will come out to T-Mobile Arena, spend their hard-earned money, buy the pay-per-view on Showtime pay-per-view, what can you guarantee they're going to get on July 29th?
I can guarantee everybody is going to witness something special that night. Errol Spence, he don't like to back up. I'm the type of fighter where you push, I push even harder. You hit me, I want to fight even harder. He got a big heart. I got a big heart. He loves to fight. I love to fight. And it just makes for a great action-packed fight with a lot of, excitement in it. So July 29th is going to be a great night for boxing. I feel like this is definitely a legacy fight and a fight that should be talked about in the whole boxing community, if it's not all through the social medias outlets. But I do believe that this is a old school type fight where, you got all the greats fighting each other. Like I said, in this era, this is the great fighting each other. So yeah, tune in July 29th, buy the fight
Hold on.
if you can't be there.
Let me see.
Love it. All right, I know we got some questions from members of the media. All we ask is
All right,
that
try it
you
now. Try it again.
identify yourself, tell us who you with, and ask your question.
How you doing? Tyler Times from the Los Angeles Times. Just wondering, for Bud first, what took so long for y'all to finally come together and do the fight?
Okay, we all knew that. Now, let's pause it for a minute. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. This is the very first press conference between two undefeated champions, legends, doing it while they're in their prime still. Errol Spence, wild lifestyle, got in that crazy wreck back in late 19, got all his teeth knocked out. To answer your question, Errol Spence does seem a little slurred with his speech. I think that's because of the veneers are bigger than his teeth were, if you can remember. So, let's see. He said probably half drunk. No, it's not coming in. Crawford looked more confident, in my opinion. Well, Terence Crawford looked like he was a little tired, man. I've seen Errol like a week ago, and Errol looked like he's about 180 pounds. Now, I know this is okay. This is January, it's not even real, kind of mid-January. Then it's late next month in July. So the 29th of July, he has to lose some weight. I don't know how pre-camp, we hear rumors. We don't really know how people are doing now. Terence Crawford looks like he's in great shape already, and I've noticed Crawford is, of course, he's about as tall as Errol Spence. I don't know what type of platform shoes they were wearing, but I know Errol, when they were looking eye to eye, they looked the same. But when they turned and face the audience, Errol looked a lot bigger, bro. He looked like he was fucking middleweight or something. He did, you know. Kurt, they reporting Errol not even sparring. That's what I'm hearing. See, you know what I mean? That's what I heard. How do you become lineal champion and can be there multiple lineal champions throughout many weight classes? You get the Ring magazine. You beat the guy that beat the guy. Okay, that's why Teofimo was that, because Teofimo beat the guy that had all the belts. See, lineal means the person that had all the belts got beat. That's who's the lineal champion. Just like Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko. Vladimir Klitschko was that reigning and defending unified champion. Then he beat him, he became lineal. Okay? He said, smoking Bud Crawford. He said, man, we gonna smoke, we gonna roll him up and we gonna smoke him. Who you got winning, Kurt? Like, I got Terence, man. You know, but Lex Gaming YT, man, you know I'm gonna keep it real with you guys, man. I have to keep it real with you guys. Like the idea of like seeing Errol big ass and then Terence kind of like this, you know, saying Terence is kind of sitting there. I'm like, dude, Errol's looks so massive. Now that did concern me. It did concern me. Not changing my mind on the site because looks can be deceiving, but that did, you know, Spence showing AJ some Texas barbecue. That's how AJ so damn big. Hell yeah. You liking that shit, man. And then, you know, I heard like my boy Pro Bees, he was telling me about the weather in the UK, like it's not the best. But then like other people have told me that the food ain't that great. Like fish and chips, that's like the deal, that's the thing. But, you know, other than like food and stuff like that, you know, you go to Texas, bro, like you got all that fucking home cooked, home style Texas barbecue. You know what I mean? Like places that Anthony, do you understand everybody that comes to the US, bro, first of all, gets big. Look what happened to AJ the last time he came to the States. You know what happened. He came in big as shit. He looked like a bodybuilder and he got his ass beat. You guys remember that? English Kitchen is like the worst kitchen in Europe. I don't know if that's a place, English Kitchen, because I've never been to the UK, okay? I've been to countries, I've been to Ireland, I've been to Turkey, I've been to Germany, but I've never been to London. I haven't been there yet. Man down, Spence down, man down. Wait, it's Errol. Oh, double AR. I need to go to Texas. Skrilla 50, yeah, bro, yeah. But imagine you're eating something for the first time and all these taste buds are exploding in your mouth. It's like people taking crack or something for the first time. That shit's like, he's probably overloaded. You think he ain't gonna eat a lot of that shit? Everything's big in Texas, big ass ribeyes and shit like that. Texas barbecue with ribs, and man, you know he's gonna eat that. And you know what he's gonna call that? He's gonna call that it's healthy protein. It's healthy protein. What do you say, Derek? He's eating. You know what I mean, dude? That's, you know, finger licking good, literally. You know? Hey, the food here in the UK is trash. Damn. I mean, that's what I hear. I mean, I hear it's real bland. Like, you know, I'm from the South, okay? So when you're talking about, when you go from Shreveport, which is a lot of Texas based, like we got Texas Roadhouse, which is the bomb, bro. Listen, me and my girl will go to Texas Roadhouse, and the first time she ever had onions and mushrooms on a steak, she was like, what the fuck? You know, because she's used to well done. A lot of people, you know, cook in certain ways, certain traditions or whatever. But she had that. It was like, now that's where she always wanted to go. Bomac needs to stop eating for a while. Yeah, he does. He does really need to check that shit. That's kind of a huge contradiction to you be that good of a trainer and be fat like that. You know what I mean? Top end's food is French cuisine. Pulverizing top end food is everything. St. Don in the building. Ronnie Fraud. When you're a world-class fighter, does sparring become necessary for the bigger fights? Absolutely. Everything is important. You can't Look, you got to cross every T, you got to dot every I, especially with this type of fight. This is a legendary legacy fight. CPU Kurt, this is what casuals should flock to. Hopefully they do so. CP to you, Quad Life. But everybody should do so. Every single body, they know what's at stake. You know, Spence gun out work Bud because his trainer in better shape. I don't know about that one, but you know, Derek looked like he stays in shape. You know, he looks like he works the bag on his, you know, days off. You know what I mean? Between sessions, he gets a good workout in. A Sunday roast and a full English breakfast stands up to anything. Absolutely, St. Don. Dude, my father made one, and this was banging, bro. Carrots, potatoes, had this like French onion taste. Dude, it's delicious. Took about 3 hours to roast. Vegas saying Bud is not right. I don't know what that means. I wish I cared. These two are too American. They have no interest in the rest of the world and are not the personalities because nobody knows them. J.H. Lethal. Well, again, this is a hardcore fight. I don't care who doesn't know. The opponent is I know, and I'm supposed to let you guys know. That's the reason for the channel, for me to speak my news and for me to promote the fights. See, this fight should be seen. If you want to see, that's just like me saying, oh, those are two British guys, AJ and Dillian White. I don't want to see that shit. What? Really? Not because they're two British guys? No, it's my job. Because boxing is a world sport. It's a world sport. It's not just in America. And you know who started that shit? I'm going to tell you who did. Floyd. See, now since that, Floyd has went overseas and fought in the UK and all this, and, you know, people love him. I know he got butthurt because everybody flocked to AJ when AJ was getting all the attention and the notoriety, and he was just kind of sitting there like that little older big brother kind of dude, and nobody really wanted to talk to. Everybody wanted to take a picture with AJ. Listen, he brought that shit on himself. Why? Because AJ, I mean, unlike Floyd, he wanted to go other places. Floyd had his mentality, I'm so big, I make all the money, I'm so great, so everybody fights me where I want them to fight me. And that was never anywhere else. So how can you call yourself a world champion? Boxing is a world sport. A world sport. So yes, Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford is the biggest fight. That's what you got. Errol's kind of drunk. Kurt, when is Crawford Spence likely to happen? It's going to happen July 29th. Errol always sounds drunk. He a laid back dude. I think Errol Spence smoked a lot of weed or something. I don't know what's wrong with him. Because he maybe just lazy tongue like that. Now, I would hate for him to show signs this early of being hit too much. Because some people, everybody's durability and mainframe is different. See, some people can handle it, some people can't. So let me give you a prime example. Some people, one thing one person does will kill the very next person or affect the next person a lot worse than it affects that person. Don't believe me? Look at Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. Nothing's wrong with this dude. I mean, fucking nothing. He still works out. He still talks. He's on, what is he on? Golpe a Golpe, right? That's a Spanish television channel that he talks nothing but, you know, boxing. Yeah, he's fine. The guy that he fought, Mildred Taylor, is not. And I believe Mildred Taylor got hit less. And he sure had twice as less fights. So you guys see what I'm saying? Like, maybe Errol's that dude. James Toney. James Toney was probably the hardest to hit. Yet he had, you know what I mean? He had signs of that CT or CE, right? Forrest, Jesus. Sweet Pea Whitaker. Sweet Pea Whitaker the same way. No, you know, he had that going before he passed away. Only fight the tops. This is Fury versus Usyk. Canelo is washed. Lex Gaming YT. Kurt, how and why you think Bud will win? Yeah, CTE. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Ronnie Fraud. For one, we Mexicans are just built different. Some are, but then some are not. Okay. You want to talk about Mexican? Look at Brandon Rios. He's not the same fucking guy. I just thought of him last night and like, what the fuck ever happened to Brandon Rios? He's not the same dude. He talks slower. He's not the same. Fernando Vargas. So yeah, we can go round for round in each nationality and see people that are not the different or same as they were when they came into the sport. Bud got the steely wind look about him. Let me tell you something to answer your question, Lex Gaming. All right. Why do I think Bud will beat Errol? I think Bud will beat Errol simply because Errol gives everybody what they want. Let me give you an example. Bud will have, and you guys are going to look at me crazy, but listen to what I'm saying and then see it, and then we'll see if it unfolds. Bud had a more difficult time with someone like Carol Brook than he did with somebody like Errol Spence. Why? Because Errol Spence is not a counterpuncher like that. Yeah, he knows catch and shoots, but what is his initiating primary game? His primary game is to attack. Volume. That's why people like to see him, because he's an exciting fighter and he doesn't bullshit. He digs to the body. He has heavy hands. He does small, short movements to get on the inside, and then he's able to jump back out. So he has boxing ability, but his primary attack is to attack the body and put pressure. Thank you, Pulverize. Kurt, if Bud beats Spence easy, is Errol washed? No, that's bullshit. See, that's what people think. And that's how people will look at Errol. Oh, he was a bum. No, he wasn't a bum, because if he's a bum, that means Terence Crawford is a bit better than a bum. That's what people will be saying, and that's not true. Okay? That is not true. Bud can switch gears in the fight and make adjustments. Spence stays in the same gear. I will say this. I ain't going to say Spence only has one gear, because that'll be false. What Spence has, though, okay, he has about 3 gears. He has about 3 gears. But that's it. Crawford has 6. And see, Crawford uses them all in unison to get the job done. He's a style bender. He's going to adjust to your style. You know, one thing that made me up front pick Terence Crawford years before they fought was the time they came to each other face to face, and Errol Spence called this man light in the ass. That's right. He called him out, man. He light in the ass. He light in the ass. I'm going to punish you. I'm going to punish you. Bud is coming for Spence, and the rest are on the fence. Bars. Watching. Serious question, says Ronnie Fraud. He asks, Ryan Garcia is outclassed by Tank Davis. What does that make Ryan Garcia? He's good enough, but not world-class elite. Ronnie, we don't know where he is. We just know he's not better than Tank. See, this is what happens in boxing. A lot of you casuals need to understand what you're doing is not fair. And people do it. You're not alone, but this is what people resort to mentally. They see a fighter get beat by a good guy, possibly the best guy. Then they throw that guy off and they throw him away. His stock drops. He's no good. He's a bum. He was overrated. This, that, and the other. Blah, blah, blah. Well, what happens? That same guy will come back and beat the shit out of somebody that beat the guy that beat him. And then we're looking at, oh, well, you know, what are we really looking at? Now we're looking for excuses or reasons. There are no excuses. There's no reasons. Styles make fights. That's why you should be excited for every different separate fight. That's why. Because it doesn't work like people think it's going to go. People like to cut corners and think that they're fucking smart. It doesn't work that way in boxing. Oh, man, yeah, Ali lost to Frazier. Foreman beat him, so you know Foreman going to destroy Ali. He's gonna destroy Ali because Joe Frazier beat him. You know what I mean? Errol Gump is his new name. Errol Gump. But to be fair, he's always talked like that. He's always talked because he's from the country, bro. I mean, he's from the South. And it's hilarious. I'm from New York. I'm from Long Island. I'm Jamaican. You Jamaican? From Long Island. Kurt, what did you think of the press conference? It went better than I expected. First pressers are usually calm. I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah, I want the other one figured. I want, now here's the thing. People, it was good. It was good. It was very good. Very good. I think that at the end of the day, this is a real blessing, an absolute dessert, a treat to see these guys come together and finally meet. Bars. Errol from the dumb South or down South. He's from down South. You ever heard the saying you guys, let me educate you all in country grammar. And this is an important saying they say down here in the South. Just because I talk slow don't mean I think slow. That's true. You hear someone's accent. That's just like saying Dillian White is stupid because he has a certain type of etiquette. Okay, he speaks in a certain etiquette. And, because you see his speech etiquette, you judge his mental state. Can't be up South. No, it sure the hell can't. Spence, I'm from New York, man. That's it. I'm from New York. I'm from Long Island. How long did you stay there? Fucking 2 months? Yeah, dirty South. That's it. Errol about to bust out of his shirt. Yeah, dude, Errol looked like he was a black Superman, had his little glasses on, trying to tone himself down. We know he about that life. That's why it's going to be a good fight. But like I was saying, Errol Spence will give Terence Crawford what he needs. A counterpuncher will always confuse him. He will not confuse Terence, but he will always be more difficult. Like somebody like Floyd fighting Terence would be a more challenge for Terence. Because this is a guy that's picking and choosing, that's using certain things, that's not giving you too much. He's not giving you what he wants. He's not getting set up for any traps. He's trying to counter because you're trying to counter. You both are waiting and doing the same game. Damn, Kurt, never caught you on a live at this time. Tony Lyons. Man, I used to go at 2 all the time, man, back in the day. I need to start back. I really need to start back. Hey, Kurt, will it be a disappointment if Canelo fight Badge? What's that? Who's Fury not fighting today? Oh, I don't know. I mean, I got some Fury stuff, but I think I did enough, about Fury lately. I try not to, because I've already done videos on all that shit. A lot of times you guys see me and you hear me, it's like, and I tell you top of the morning, it's actually top of the morning. It's just, I don't release those videos like back to back to back to back. Unless I'm going somewhere and then I'm going to schedule them to go out a certain time. I think Errol Spence will run the whole fight. No, Errol ain't running from nobody. Errol will get knocked out before he runs from somebody. You can trust that. That's why this fight is what people are not expecting. Someone is going to get knocked out. This is not going to go 12 rounds. And if it does, people are going to hit the canvas. But see, here's the thing. If somebody hits the canvas in this fight, I think that person should overcome. And then we'll see. Let's say it's Terence Crawford and Errol catches him with that left. Okay, let's see he catches him with that left and then he put down Terence Crawford. Okay, Errol's going to come in to finish. Then we'll see how good Terence Crawford is. We'll see if he can adjust. We'll see if he can adapt. We'll see how that affects him. Hey, Kurt, will it be a disappointment if Canelo fight Badu Jack? No, but yeah, it would. Like, how bad would it be? It wouldn't be too bad, but at the same time, it wouldn't be what people expected from Canelo. Canelo does not have time, people. And this is what happens to these fighters. They waste all their youth doing bullshit. Now, I admit, the last 5, well, not the last 5, but the fights he had, Smith, Saunders, Plant, Fielding, all of them were at super middleweight. Okay. Then he fought Bivol at 175 and he lost. Then he came back down to 168. Then, then he fought Ryder. So after that, and he fights Badu Jack. That's just that's a wasted. That's a waste. Because Canelo knows, and we've seen his last performance, that this dude is not going to hang around forever. He's not going to fight the same forever. Somebody's going to eventually start taxing his ass. If I'm Canelo Alvarez, I would do something like crazy that nobody thought of. Fight Erislandy Lara again. If Lara at age fucking 40, he's 40. Let me see how old Lara is. Hold on.
Listen, it doesn't matter what took so long. All that matters is we here now. I'm excited. Everybody else excited. And July 29th, myself and Errol Spence will be sharing the ring together and putting on a great show for each and every one of you guys.
Hi, Terence. Lance Puckmeyer, PPV.com.
40.
Thank you guys for being here today. I just wanted to ask you, Terence, obviously you've really earned the reputation of being the sport's best finisher. Can you describe in detail what happens when you see that moment that you need to kill the opponent or knock him out? What takes over?
Well, I don't know. It's an inner bulldog in me. When I see that blood, when I see weakness, I just go for the kill. I'm pretty sure all types of great fighters got that instinct that when they see one of their opponents hurt or wounded, they go for the kill.
Thank you.
Greg Rosenstein, The Athletic. For Errol, you two have both been compared constantly over the years in the division and on pound-for-pound lists. What specific skill sets do you see you having the advantage over Terence?
Man, I got a lot of skill sets I feel like advantages over him. But at the end of the day, I feel like this fight is basically so even. It's going to be more about just being more focused and, not getting out of focus, especially in the later rounds, just making sure, stand on point all throughout the fight and making sure you don't lose focus, because that's how you end up getting caught.
Errol Mano Kakopia
Instinct.
at Square. We know your business is only
Okay, so Erislandy Lara is 40 years old. Just really touching on the rest of that. Give me just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, now, Erislandy Lara and Canelo. I don't think so at this point. I used to think that maybe a couple years ago, Canelo would have washed Lara because Lara has slowed down. He just basically stands and waits to counter with his coming and being a southpaw, and he counters with that straight left, and he has a long chopping right hook. But I don't think that would be enough to beat the Canelo of probably 2021. I say that Canelo stops Lara. But now, I don't know. Because, see, Lara ain't no different boxer. He just don't move around as much. And we didn't really see a lot from Canelo last time to convince me that he would do a number on Lara. I see a pretty even fight, and I see them giving it to Canelo. But I would like to see that again because that first fight was bullshit. And if people don't understand it and don't know that, I don't know what to tell you. It was all bullshit. But no, I feel that back to Errol and Terence, though. Errol and Terence, man, those guys, I think, just like I had T.O., just countering, just being too slick for Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor was off all night. He could not deal with the footwork. He couldn't deal with the head movement. He couldn't deal with the angles. He couldn't. He looked like he wasn't He could never make the adjustments. He could never get the timing right. And I'm thinking to myself like, damn, what is this dude really doing? He was there trying to figure it out. When you're there trying to figure it out, you're wasting time because the other guy, when you're trying to figure out that other guy is scoring upon you. Mm-hmm. Kurt had a fight this big, probably Oscar or Canelo, but I mean, fighting a guy his pinnacle top of the game. I don't know. Zab Judah was curious on your thought. Well, no, he hadn't fought anyone like him. He hadn't, and he didn't really have that person to fight him. King Mike Hall in the building. Marvin, Josh Taylor normally cuts off the ring, but couldn't do it. He couldn't. You got somebody shorter that's more elusive, great head movement. I mean, that's what it's going to be. He tried to feint Josh Taylor, but it didn't work. Canelo is so overrated. I think Canelo's past his prime. And I think mentally, when you accomplish something like that, I think this is the problem with Canelo. I think Canelo knows that he's not going to do anything much more than what he did already. He became the first Mexican that has been undisputed in the super middleweight category. I think something in Canelo changed. It happens. Look what happened to Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury beat Klitschko, and then he wasn't worth a shit anymore. But that's how it gets. When you do that one thing, you're like, okay, I'm ready to settle down. Almost like when you've done enough sleeping around and you're just like tired and you're like, dude, I want to get married. That's the type of mentality. And then when they think about that, because they think of a lot of people think of marriage is over. My life is over. It's finished. But in actuality, for fighters, they've done everything that they could possibly do. The money changed Canelo. No, the money couldn't have changed Canelo because Canelo already had the money. He had the money kicking ass. It had to be something else. It was the accomplishments. Because he knows I'm not going to be undisputed at lightweight, especially getting beat the fuck up by Bivol. You think I stand a chance up there to doing what I did at 168? Oh, but no. You can't come down here to 160. I ain't going to lose my belts to your big ass. Because Bivol, I want to come down and fight for 168. Maybe the pads are taking their toll on Canelo. Nah, I ain't going to get caught like that no more. And Mauricio even lowered. We will lower down the amount of nandrolone due to Mexico's vast variety of injection for their agriculture. Therefore, I think we will lower the amount. Canelo makes more than NFL players and b-ball players. Well, I'll say this: if it took him a while to get old, I mean, is people really pissed off? I mean, Benavidez is going to be Benavidez, but these guys, they need the guy with the torch. They need somebody to help them. If Canelo doesn't fight Benavidez and he don't never fight him, that's no different from Floyd, Money Mayweather not fighting Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, Landy Lara, all those guys there. He bypassed the whole idea of fighting Golovkin. You remember that? And you remember Stephen A. Smith? Well, ho, Floyd, I love you like a play cousin, but please don't go near Triple G. Triple G is a man, I think, that will break you down. Stay away from there. Don't mess with Triple G. He's a middleweight. He's not like all the others. Please, Floyd, don't go near middleweight. That's what happened. Bob and Marcio conversate, please, Kurt. Bob, listen, Mauricio. Bob, I am aware of this situation. We cannot let too many people win because with the money, I understand, but fuck it, we need the fights. I will strip the belt then, Bob. Good. We don't have to fight for it anyway. Canelo wants the biggest payday from Showtime. He wants some money, man. I would have rather seen Floyd fight Lara than Triple G. Well, that would have been a very tactical fight. You know what it would kind of been like? Because I remember when Austin Trout beat Miguel Cotto, and then he fought Erislandy Lara and fucking lost. Remember that? But he lost because it was a fight between two southpaws, and it was crazy because a lot of people start booing because they didn't understand that this was a technical, tactical fight. You just ain't got guys like Canelo just start throwing punches, bam, 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 to the body because he can't hit anything else. And Lara was schooling him. Okay. But no, Lara versus, no, bro. Floyd, he wasn't going to fight Lara because Lara probably would be a damn, no. No, that's not going to work. They'll probably still rob him though if he don't, he ain't going to knock out Floyd. You know what I mean? He's not going to knock out Floyd. Does 7 pounds really matter in weight classes? 168 versus 175 is too much. Well, no, yes, it does. Ronnie, you have to understand the actual weight that people fight in is never the weight that they weigh on. You have to understand that. So when Floyd fights at 146 and a half, this man might actually be 152. Okay, so in other words, you're saying, well, what's the difference between 160 and 168? Well, here's the deal. Or 168, 175. Well, if you weigh in at 175, chances are you're going to come in at about 183, 184 on fight night. If you come in and you make your weight for super middleweight at 168, you may come in at 177, 180. You more than likely, you're going to balloon 10 pounds up. That's a normal. See, your normal is guys like Arturo Gatti and what he did to Joey Gamache. He destroyed him because he weighed in at 140 this day. This cat gained 20 pounds. I don't know if it was water retention, more than likely. And he came out there buff, dude, and he jacked Joey Gamache up. Joey Gamache had to sue the New York Athletic Commission. Athletic Commission. The size difference in Pacquiao versus De La Hoya was massive. Don't help De La Hoya, do. Well, it didn't. De La Hoya wasn't the same fighter anyway. He was done. But he still got his ass whooped by the smaller one. Bars. Don't act like Floyd ain't school Pac-Man. He did. Who was the last pure boxer Floyd fought? Canelo Ortiz, Guerrero, Maidana. I don't know. Good question. Very good question. Soccer game came from the term association football, a British term. We just don't use it.
Both fighters can fight both ways. Both are great finishers. Both have made big adjustments multiple times in big fights. But the Spence who outboxed Mikey Garcia was different in strategy and intention than the Spence who last time out 16 months ago walked down, broke the face of champion Yordenis Ugas. Is this Errol Spence trying to get out ahead of it and say, look, the difference between us will be the dog factor. It will be that in this fight, I'm coming after you. And I believe that I can be the last man standing in that type of situation.
I think so. I mean, he almost said it explicitly, right? Talking about, like, what's the difference between them as boxers. You know, he had a lot of respect to pay him right there.
Well, yeah. You know, you guys missed, but Errol Spence, when I came in, Errol Spence, who you fought? Who you got you prepared to fight somebody like me? You ain't fought nobody. Tell me who them people was so I can tell you about their ass. Kurt, did you watch the game last night? I did not. Skrilla 50, he's had 2 decision losses in his entire career. How has he been robbed multiple times? He fought with Wood, was not a robbery, so what are you talking about? Well, I don't know either. I have no idea. None.
But he kept saying he was going to break him. He was going to break him like a horse, I think was the statement that he made. And so when you think about that, it's
That's
like
a Texan talking about.
yeah, it certainly is. He's not saying he's necessarily all that much better than Crawford as a boxer, or at least certainly a pure boxer. What he's just saying is by the time either the one guy falls or the final bell rings at the end of the 12th, he'll have just done the work to put it on the other guy. I mean, there's a certain, even other combat sports like wrestling, which by the way, Bud Crawford has a background in.
Right.
There's a certain level of just, of it.
Let me pause right there and then let me remind people what he just said. Terence Crawford has a wrestling background. This dude is a little John Bones Jones. What's the whole you don't see that hurt you the most? It's the and he has 3 decision losses because he lost to Swift Hurd. Well, the other 2 was bullshit. Come on, man. They robbed him with whatchamacallit. They fight. You know they suspended all the judges, right? They suspended every judge there. You know what I mean? So yeah, instead of them just returning it, they gave the decision to Paul Williams, and he got his ass beat from rounds 1 to 12. And that's after he got knocked out by Sergio Martinez because they knew they wanted to market Paul the Punisher Williams. Why? Because he could sell. Why can he sell? Because he was exciting. That's why. It's the shots that you don't see that hurts. Absolutely. Regardless of weight, what fight would you rather like to see? Sergio was KO was a classic. Yeah, he just boom. He came in, dude. He caught him. Look, Sergio caught him. He caught him. Bow. When he caught him, he just walked off because he knew he got him. Yeah, look, he knew he got him. Floyd is seen as a joke now. Floyd's just making money. He's just doing what he can to make that cash. That's all. That's all that is. Davis versus Haney, Baturbia versus Bivol would be good. I want the fights that we should see. Baturbia versus Bivol, unfortunately, that ain't happening. Nope. And what's going to happen? See, Baturbia, if he fights, because he's just knocking people out, I think he's just saving his money. He's saving his money so he can go somewhere and build him a big ass house and don't worry about none of that again. Like none of it. After the fiasco, I agree, is a joke. Yeah, Floyd trying to make it a ride and stuff like that. You know, that's all scripted, I think. That's like the WWE to me. You know what I mean? That's all that is. Kurt, if Bud versus Spence does low pay-per-view numbers, who's to blame? Nobody. You guys that think that it's nothing. Errol Spence been eating slacks of ribs. I hope he can make weight. Yeah, me too, because he looked big as shit in them pictures I saw. From what I understand, all the boxing sanctions are sanctioning Bivol because he... Well, I don't know. I don't know about the other ones. I just know the WBC's having a problem. Bud versus Spence would do better than Wembley at 10 p.m. Yeah, but I mean, who's going to bring it over there? Arizism, what's up, brother? Counterpunch, are you in the building? Who runs boxing as a whole? Politics, networks, they run boxing. They pay the fighters. There you go. or you have to send a percentage to them? You think Canelo actually met Al Heyman? I'm not sure. I don't think he ever mentioned it. He's pretty verbal. His English is very good these days.
Certain guys can win with, yes, technical innovation, but intensity and will and focus. And he also mentioned that maintaining the game plan, sticking to the focus the entire time. It just sounded to me like whatever the difference is in our skill or our approach, I'm just going to keep hammering until you eventually just turn into a nail.
Yeah, and
Well, see, that's what people think. And like I told you guys before I jump off of here, Terence Crawford, what made me believe that Terence Crawford was going to knock out Errol Spence, he came to Errol Spence, and look, he said, yeah, you better not go to that body. You better not go to that. You better not. He told Errol, you better not do what you normally do with me because it's not going to work. I see catch and shoots waiting big time. Because all what Terence is going to do, he's going to catch a body shot and come upstairs with one of them right hooks that probably Errol won't see because he's trying to commit to the body too well or too hard or too much or overzealously like he tries, and he's going to get caught with something that hurts him. He's going to be caught with something that hurts him. Kurt, what does Spence not sparring mean? I don't know. I don't give a shit. Nobody had to tell this man to get ready for Ugas or Pacquiao or Porter or Brook. So if he don't know how to do it by now, or if he's found a way not to get through it, I don't care. You still gonna show your ass up in that fight and get destroyed. Kurt, what does Spence not sparring mean? Okay, I got that. Do you think Floyd cheated in the Pacquiao fight with? No. No, bro. Do you think Floyd cheated in the Pacquiao fight with an IV? I'm not sure. I doubt it, though. The only person to talk about his shoulder was Floyd. I mean, Manny, my shoulder, it hurt before the fight. Dude, cut that shit out. Just shut up. How about that? But also called Errol fat in the same encounter and said, bet 1 million. Put your money where your mouth is. Bud Smart, he wants Errol. He wants Errol to be safe as much of a challenger to possible without his losing. That's why he warns him not to find how he usually does. If he destroys him, fans will remove the cry for his win. Okay, just shit talking. But no, this was lit. I want to finish the rest of it. I thank you guys for coming in. God bless you all. Stay tuned for some later content later on today. Peace!